Dave isn't taking much credit for himself, and he's more responsible for what's happening on our hunger downbeat than I am. Because when I was doing it, I told him about it, and he said, well, I'll join you on that. And I said, well, great. And he's the one that wrote the website, and he's the one that does all the Internet stuff. I like to call people and talk to them, and I have reached out to all 50 states and got commitments from about 25 of them that I'm aware of, and I'm sure that Dave has more, So it's going very well. To give you a little background of it, in 1985, there was also a famine in Africa. But at that time, it inspired everyone in the world. Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie wrote a tune that everybody probably knows, We Are the World. And Quincy Jones made a recording of that and published it. And that was the feeling in the world, 85, how many years ago? 60, 85, 95, 105, about 26 years ago, I think. And now it seems to me that there is very little attention given to people that are having a tough time around the world and are starving, and that was not the case in 85. So that in effect kind of shocked me, and because we had put on a benefit concert in 1985, the Twin Cities musicians, and we were aware of what was happening in the world. To me, that doesn't seem to be happening now. A lot of people, I don't know why. It could be that people have struggles of their own, or maybe, who knows? I'm not saying that. They've got a busy lifestyle. I'm sure of that. But if they can't take some time to think about other people, Dave and I just thought, well, why don't we see if we can do it through drummers? Actually, Dave Schmallenberger said to us once, wouldn't it be nice if all the drummers could play at the same time? And nothing else was said about that, but I went home that night and I thought, that's a great idea, but what are we going to play? It's got to be something simple enough so that, amateurs, not amateurs, but students can play it, and yet something that's inspiring. And so I thought of 3 camps. Now, that was a lucky break, I think, because the connection of 3 camps to the Civil War means that the drum in those days was used as communication. And that's what we are trying to do. We are trying to communicate to other people to pay more attention, to bring their awareness of world hunger. So that was a good connection. Also, drums are noted in Africa. All modern drummers, I'm sure, will say that a modern jazz drummer now is just a combination of a march beat and the syncopation that we got from Africa. So I thought that was a good connection, and Dave agreed with me. So that's what started it, and we're have gotten a lot of good responses, and we're very grateful for that. So anyhow, that's why we did it, just to raise awareness, not to raise any money, but we're hoping that people will obviously donate to charities of their choice. That I don't know if people realize that there are 1 billion people in the world that go to bed hungry every night. Many of them, like I say, starving to death. They say that, let's see, it's 24,000 children die each day that could be prevented either by disease or by malnutrition. And it just seems like that's 1 out of every 7 people in the world. Can you imagine that? 1 out of 7 people do not have enough food.